Before we start, the name is at the top of the screen. The protagonist realized that they woke up. They talk about how her silky silver hair shone like stars in the night sky. Her sapphire eyes were a little fishingly, truly, the goddess of art and beauty would be so jealous. The only problem is that she cannot grow taller. She picks out her usual dress and finds it perfect. She steps out of the room, calling out the servants, telling them to give her the newspaper. All of them line up with many newspapers, but she tells them one is enough and questions how much they want to flirt with her. Here in the borderlands of Hangaria, because they are so far away from the capital, newspapers arrive a month late. She becomes totally shocked as she reads the newspaper in which it is written that the second prince started a revolution and killed the first gang. She wonders if this is how the second prince became a new king. According to the new regime's announcement, the first prince and former king were extremely evil people who paid for their personal expenses behind closed doors. She wonders if they are serious because it just looks like a fabrication to justify the revolution. She realizes it seems it will be rough from now on and she loves oppressing weak people, but a real duel with someone in power is absolute. She then thinks that her role in the Hangar domain is to maintain a line of defense against demons coming from their borders. She knows as long as they don't do anything wrong, they will leave them alone. She is aware that the second prince was a pain in the ass too. If worse comes to worst, she will use the people of her domain as a shield. The first prince is also a disaster. She heard that he is only 18 years old. She has often seen him in the papers, along with trophies for winning swordsmanship tournaments. He has black hair, blonde eyes, and he was so unsociable that the nickname Prime of Ice came up. She thinks that sore look on his face made her wonder about him as the future king. It would be pitiful if her brother started a revolution and killed her. A man calls out to her who seems to be a butler. As she tells him she's not asking him to step on her. He tells her that he's not it and explains that a merchant is here to see her. He tells her they say that he came from the capital and apparently he's a slave trader. He also seemed to be the kind of inhuman merchant who dealt with many wounded. She seems to be reincarnated as she ponders that Lady Leti is a wicked female lord, so there must be many people with grudges against her. She ponders that she is sure the depressed people are just following her because they want money, that is why she wanted a slave who was absolutely obedient. She tells the butler to tell the trader to take all the items for sale and come into her parlor. Later, the trader greets her and tells her he is very glad that she met him without an appointment. He introduces himself as Knox Reinhardt, a slave trader. He tells her that he looks forward to working with her again. She introduces herself as well. She looks at his head and thinks of it like a mushroom. Knowing she doesn't want to remember his name as she can remember him by that. She tells him to just hurry up and proceed with his business deal. He realizes it is time to talk about work. He tells her this time he brought her about 30 male slaves. She looks at them and thinks he is a straggler and covered in scratches. She looks at all the slaves, knowing there's a right arm missing and one has a leg missing. She tells him that she is going to buy them all, making him taken aback. She asks him to hurry up and submit the contract. He may be a wounded slave, but she bought it all at once. It is quite an amount. She can see that some of them look like they're about to die. They have massive hemorrhage, dehydration and tachycardia. Respiratory insufficiency. He's taken aback, questioning, how is she aware of all that? She tells him that among those of Noble's bloodline, there are those who manifest the abnormal powers known as gifts. Her gift is the Queen's Mirror Eye. It is the ability to see their target's weaknesses. She knows being able to see people's weaknesses is an evil ability, so she tells him to leave all the wounded slaves behind and go home. He refuses, saying if she can see through a dying person there is no way he can believe that. She calls him Mushroom and tells him to shut up. She questions if he really thought that she would do something so petty. She tells him that nobles buy boxes. She will buy an adult with the money her people earn. She questions if he's going to sell it or not. He is aware that she is going to save these people now as she knows who they are. He tells her alright, he will send them all. He thinks that she is a saint. He tells her so the rumors about her are true. She ponders that it looks like even merchants in the capital know how evil she is. He leaves as she then looks at all the slaves, realizing that everyone looks like they cannot keep up with the situation. She tells them that she is the one who bought them, it's to submit to her and protect her until she dies. One of the men raises his hand. He's very deeply wounded as he apologizes and questions if he may ask her one thing. She is surprised that he was able to stand on the verge of death. She notices full body burns, laceration and septicemia and multiple organ failure. She asks him what's his name. He introduces himself as Vice, stating that he's just a low-ranking soldier from Weiss. She questions what is it that he wishes to ask her. He responds that she told him that she bought them as bodyguards. He states that as she can see they are covered in wounds, there is no way they can guard her. He falls onto the ground. His friend asks him to hold it in and rest, but he responds that he wants others to rest first. She thinks that he's just a low-ranking soldier. She looks at others, noticing that they all sound so awfully respectful. She thinks that he must be a very popular low-ranking soldier. She tells them that all of them would be working today. They find that very inhuman, to which she responds that is right. She is the embodiment of evil. She is the queen of this land who is extremely evil. He tells her that he put his last hope on the line with a noble of goodwill. She tells him that unfortunately she is not going to buy anything without good reason. At most he works like a carriage horse. She uses her power of holy sacred horse horn to heal these people. They all wonder what is this warm glow, as well as noticing the pain receding. He starts wondering if this is actually done by the holy sacred horse horn. He's aware that it is a legendary item. It is an item that could heal all wounds and illnesses by wishing for it. She realizes that healing 30 people really did consume a lot. She thinks that is about it and says that they should start working now. He asks her what the hell is she doing trying to use billions of market value items for slaves. She responds, for example, they cannot betray someone who saved their life, no matter how much they hate them. He responds, it depends on the degree. She tells him that is exactly it. She wanted a bodyguard who would never betray her. That is why she did everything in her power to save them. Of course she will give them money and a place to live. If they cannot sleep, then there is no harm in it. She laughs, telling them if she does this they will never betray her. And this is how the evil her does things. That he asks her, even so, isn't that a bit much? She questions, what is he saying? Her life is worth far more than billions. She tells them they're going to be her people and then they'll be able to set up a feat worth billions. She tells them that her shoulders got stiff when she talked about all sorts of things. They all become really fond of her, telling her that they will massage it. She wonders what is this all of a sudden. She tells them if they want to massage her shoulders they can take a bath first. She has prepared a change of clothes for them and they should make sure they wash the back of their ears. They call her Mama as she questions who they are calling Mama. She thinks that if she shows a little bit of rich composure he will fawn over her right away, something like if she is nice to him he might pay for it. That is what she thinks it is, or maybe he will make her let her guard down and assassinate her. She is aware that unfortunately she can see through such things. She is aware that she has read over about 100 books, mostly manga, but she knows in that regard he is unsociable. He apologizes, saying that it's not that he does not appreciate. She tells him that she likes it and he can stay the way he is from now on. He is aware that he has never been told that before. She ponders that it's scary to see a tall and well-built man so expressionless. She knows if anything she will scare him away with her glare. He can notice that unfortunately there is no such thing as fear in this lady Lady. He calls her cute, making her totally shocked, wondering what he is saying with an expressionless face. The person with him apologizes, mentioning that he has a tendency to say what he thinks out loud right away. She wonders what is with this guy. The guy calls out to Master Weiss, questioning should not they reveal themselves now. Weiss asks, but would it not be a bother? He responds that it's alright. The moment she bought them he thought she was prepared for this. She wonders what are they even talking about. She is aware that she took a wounded soldier from the slave trader in town. She thinks a merchant from the royal capital brought them here, a soldier who was covered in wounds. They decide to introduce themselves again. They mention that they are the Royal Knights of Strain, an army that has been defeated in a revolution and is now living under disgrace. She is taken by a total shock. He tells her as embarrassing as it was to admit he was caught by a slave trader during his route. She remembers the trader told her that he will use her as a bargaining chip if it means losing her life without money. That's why he came to this place. He mentions that he did not notice. His friend tells him that anyone would notice if a slave trader came from the capital to sell scarred former soldiers right after the revolution. They mentioned that she must have guessed as much and bought them off, but she's aware she did not guess at all. They tell her that not only did she accept the risk but also to think she'd even use the sacred horns of a holy horse. They think that slave trader must have learned of Lady Lady's virtue and come to sell them too. She wishes for them to just not say whatever they want. She realizes that she has bought them without knowing anything. There is no way she could say something so uncool. She agrees with everything they say. They tell her that they can see that much truth through her. She ponders that she will remember what the slave said well. Natsu calls out to her as she questions if he still has business with her, does not he? She thinks that she is already full of bombs. They tell her that she has already noticed. He introduces the low-ranking soldier Wise to her. It is true that he has a strangely dignified air about him. She can see that he is a weird lord ranking soldiers because they all admire him. She wonders what the hell is going on. Weiss apologizes to her. He takes off his bandage telling her that he is the one who is the first Prince Weiss strain. He was the next king who had scattered before the revolution. She is unable to believe all this knowing a special grade bomb came out. They both take a bath, as she asks if they both got out of the bath feeling refreshed. They tell her that they changed and Weiss would now like to talk about the political struggle. She really does not want to hear it, but decides to. He tells her that, embarrassingly, the ministers do not like him. They all agreed with the second prince's revolution. She smirks while he continues that he guesses she cannot blame him for being so unsociable. Natsu tells him it is not his fault they thought he could not cheat with the king. The prince mentions even so, it was true that he could not hold back his retainers. At that point, he has no right to be a king. She thinks that the royal family is troubled by their own vessel. They are in an unbelievable situation. He mentions, but fortunately during the revolution most royal knights sided with him. The second prince may have been able to get the ministers on his side, but he could not gather enough of their vital forces. That was when the second prince faction came up with a bold plan. She does not want to hear that. The first prince continues that he hired the infamous mercenary company Held Wolf. She wonders if there is a bad organization out there. He mentions they are a vicious war group that boasts 10,000 members and even has supranational powers. He only learned everything when faced with their leader, the mercenary king. By that time, the castle had already been burnt down and his father king was killed. The second prince had taught the Hell Wolf a secret passage for royalty and ambushed them from within. She mentions that is awful and thinks that is something she absolutely must not get involved in. She knows as the ruler of evil she likes to oppress weak things. She definitely does not want to get involved with a royal power struggle or some other dangerous mercenary group, but in the end they could not defeat Weiss. Natsu mentions that he is strong enough for the soldiers to admire him after all, but he was no match for the mercenary king. Weiss mentions that he is powerless now. On top of sacrificing many soldiers, in the end he was shameless enough to escape with his life in a way that could have been saved by the castle's collapses. On top of that he's a failure who used his burn-covered body to hide the identity he should be proud about. He mentions that he does not have the right to be protected. She smacks his head and curses him. She asks him, does not the soldiers like him? Don't they? The people over there respect him, do not they? In that case, he should be proud of himself and he should not deny the admiration everyone has for him. He responds, but he betrayed his own expectations and lost. She tells her he did not lose when the heirs of his throne are alive. Natsu agrees with her, stating that he survived the predicament and brought them home. That he questions what is so shameless about being a failure. That he tells him to not disrespect the person that he respects. She is happy that he said that, knowing that the prince will be motivated to reflect on his actions now. He is thankful to both of them for helping him wake up. That he also thanks her properly once again for finding a way for them, motivated, and mentions that they will slay the second prince and take back this kingdom. That she's totally shocked knowing that she swore to return the revolution. She tells him that decision will cause chaos. He grabs her hand telling her this decision was made thanks to her. He tells her from now on they will go down the path of carnage and there will be a disturbance, but thanks to her, he has made up his mind. He tells her he wants her to see with her own eyes the future of that revolutionary who gave him a push. She is aware that she is not pushing it and she does not want to see it. She wishes for him to calm down. All of them start to root for her. Even the servants apologizes for eavesdropping on their conversation, but thanks her for saving them and the prince from despair. She wonders what is wrong with these guys. The prince tells her that he is glad to have met her in this remote region. She's totally shocked and feels like crying, wondering what is going to happen to her now. She wakes up and thinks that the slave she bought for her had even slept in the prince, who was a lingering enemy of her new regime. She is aware that is not possible and starts to believe that must have been a nightmare. She thinks it was all a dream. That is when the prince steps in, telling her that he is here to wake her up, making her realize it was not a dream. She starts feeling low as he asks her what is wrong. Is she still half asleep? She tells him that she's really awake. He tells her to not worry even if it is in her dream, as he will protect her. She wonders what the source of this nightmare he's talking about. She also wonders in the war first place why did he come to wake her up before realizing she was the one who ordered him. All of them talk about counter-attacking the second prince, stating that when the revolution comes, they will make their lady royalty. She ponders that she is a villain who is satisfied just by oppressing his people. She tells them to wait a minute, stating that it is a reckless thing to suddenly challenge someone like that. They should live a normal life for now and gather their forces. She knows, at any rate, The knights belong to their warrior order, and Weiss is her bodyguard attendant. She tells the prince that she will start counting on him from today. He responds that it is correct. A personal guard would be easy enough to scratch the lord's head in his sleep. So she must believe in her to give her a role like that. As well as they cannot let the capital find their first prince, so they have to keep an eye on him. She tells him to stay by her side forever. She gives him his disguise and tells him to put this on for now, telling him to wrap it around his eyes and hide the face a little, but for her to see that he asks her would not that make it impossible to see for her. She tells him that she will do it for him and asks him to sit over there. He responds that would be great. He notices that her bed is very soft. She asks him isn't he used to this sort of thing as he's a prince? But he tells her that he used to sleep on the training ground with a fever. She realizes that means he was training too much and questions what kind of prince is he. He tells her after participating in soldier training and swinging his sword for about 4 hours during 16-hour independent practice on the spot makes him feel good by losing consciousness. She asks him what about the prince of a club who passed out from special training. That he tells her they are looking for company and everyone else is going to vomit to dead. She responds that yes, she is aware. She tells him she's done with it, thanks her and mentions he will be counting on her every morning from now on. She tells him to do it himself, asking if he is a child. He responds no, it is because she is amazing and she is like an adult to him. She starts smiling, knowing that he's making her happy. She is aware that it's right. She really is an adult lady. That she tells him she will not forgive him if what he meant is a lie. He tells her it is true. She is about 10 years old, but she thinks really amazingly. She tells him that she is 16, not 10 years old. Her height is 139 centimeters and her weight is lighter than an apple box. She has big cat eyes and a small mouth and also the smell of milk. He calls out to her and tells her that she should eat more. She wonders if he is underestimating the evil queen. That he asks her what does she mean by evil queen and where in the world is that. She tells him it is her. She is the evil queen. He is totally shocked. It makes her really angry and asks him if he's making fun of her. He apologizes, stating that it was really certainly a bad thing to say at first. And no matter how one looks at it, he cannot think of anyone as a bad person. That she tells him he's so exasperated. He responds yes, it is the exasperated Weiss who lost his right to throne after being defeated by a revolution. She smirks and ponders that she guesses she will have to show him how evil she is. She tells him she'll show him the elegant day of this evil ruler. He is taken aback and asks her, is she not the queen? She tells him to shut up. They came to the city of Hangaria. The people start noticing her. One of them calls out to her as she ponders. That flirtatious look on his face is completely under her training. She also looks at other people smiling so brightly, knowing that they're hiding their hatred under a smile because they fear the punishment. She asks the prince what does he think. He responds that it seems like they must really like her. She gets angry and calls him very dense. He takes it to heart, stating that it was the dense him who had been overthrown by a government without noticing his second prince's malice. She asks him to follow her and she will show him how scary she can be. She notices a child and states that they are a weak, fragile young child. They all lighten up and call out to her. She tells them that she commands them to go buy 2 loaves of bread at the bakery over there. She looks at him and notices that he seems to frown at the misdeed. The kids bring it and she tells him here's the money for their bread and they should use it however they want. He asks her, why would she give 10,000 for 2 pieces of bread? She questions what is he talking about. She tells him that she is the ruler of this land, she should at least scatter the money called authority. She tells him one of this kid lost his father, the other one is from the orphanage and the third one has 9 brothers so he does not have much pocket money. She tells him he will be in trouble if he gets dissatisfied and becomes a delinquent. She notices the surprised look on his face and wonders why is that. He tells her he can see that she does not look like a villain at first glance. Does she? She tells him as a villain she seeks table tax revenue. That is why evil people other than her are in the way. He responds that is not what he meant. She questions what does he mean. Then he asks her if she knows the names and faces of all those people in that domain. She tells him that it's impossible, but she might know 70% at most. Even she cannot get any information on 103,728 people. She wonders if he knows what is going on with 70,000 people. She tells him if possible she would like to get a grasp on their abilities. Business must be good because there are a lot of new inflows. She tells him she is sure there are rumors that the Lord is extremely evil, but he comes here often and she wonders how much money he likes. He tells her yes, there must be a huge rumor going around. He wonders what is with this girl. She eats the breads that she made the kids buy and finds it delicious. After a while, she mentions that her stomach is full now. He observes her and thinks that she might be a villain. She notices some group of people and tells him this is the second act of misdeed that she is going to do, which is that she is going to curse all those people walking by. She uses her queen's mirror eye and tells one of the people that he is drinking too much and calls him an idiot, telling him that his head is just going to get worse. She also looks at the other person and states there is a tubercle bacillus lurking over there, so he should go get away from it. She then notices a man and states that there is a little brain tumor on his head and it will physically make him dumber. The prince wonders if that is all really true. That she looks at the panicking and mentions she's so happy to see the panicked masses. She smirks, stating that she is the true villain. He observes her and notices that she seems to think it is perfect for the villain. As someone who was saved by that power, he thinks that as well. He decides to thank the goddess who gave her that ability. She calls out the people and heads forward as he wonders where she is headed to. She goes to a woman and tells her that she is the lord of this land. She tells the woman that she came to this place after she lost her husband, didn't she? The prince asks her if she knows this lady. She responds this is the first time they are meeting and the bag that she is carrying is a male model limited to the neighboring territory. If she recalled correctly, he was popular with men who made a living slaying monsters. She knows it is unrefined for a woman and heavy enough to carry for a long time. She starts crying and mentions that is right, her husband was a soldier but he went to subjugate the demons recently and she lost her life. She asks the woman why is she in this territory, also telling her as long as she is a citizen of the neighboring territory, her family pension should be paid. The woman responds they did not pay her that. This makes the prince ask her what does she mean by that. She mentions that her husband did not die on the battlefield. A few days after she got home, the doctor said that he got septicemia. They told her it was her own fault for neglecting to treat the wound. And in that case, the mission was not the cause of death. That is what he said and refused to pay. Lady thinks that she can understand what the lords wanted to say, but he has no mercy. She starts crying, stating it is not that she regrets money, it is that her husband was treated like a dog and even so, she didn't want to be in that place. Lady tells her all right, she will allow her to move into her territory. However, starting today she will make her her servant. It is a merciless declaration to a weakened woman. She tells the woman that starting today, she will have her work as a maid at the mansion for 8 hours per day, with 2 days off each week. Her first paycheck is at the end of 300,000 yen and she will prepare a housing complex with breakfast. She will be the subject of her window employment system. She will get 1,000,000 gold as compensation in no time, so she should come to the mansion later and sign it. She knows that she can finally give her the right to build her husband's grave for free. Lady tells her that it's too bad because now she'll never be able to leave this place. The woman cries, questioning what kind of person she is. She's just like how the rumor said. To be more precise, they are the tears of gratitude spilled from her eyes. The prince is aware that she changed the reason for her tears in an instant. He calls out to her, saying that he is surprised she noticed her in that crowd, asking if it was the power of a gift after all. She tells him her gift does not detect mental fatigue. He questions then how was she able to see her. She responds it is just visual. When she was walking, it caught her eye for a moment, and as a villain, she has to check on the servants entering her field of vision. He's totally taken aback by her. She smiles, stating that woman seems to admire her extreme evilness as well. She tells him to make sure he watch her act like an evil queen. He tells her he will watch her until his eyes burn. She responds he has started to stare too much, but it is fine even if he stares too much as this extreme evil girl is way of life. She knows he'd caught a glimpse of the king he should be aiming for after all. He tells her it was the wonderful powers of reasoning against the lady from earlier. Stating that she must have a keen eye too, she wonders what is this sarcasm, knowing there are some things even she would not know. If she buys a bunch of wounded slaves from somewhere, they will be the last remaining enemies in her new government. Among them, the one who should have died is the one she's sleeping in. She knows she wants to get angry, but she cannot be underestimated as the ruler of evil. He tells her that it's amazing he should learn from her example. She asks him, so he has realized how wonderful evil is too. She tells him then she will make him an evil execute. He responds no, he is not aiming for evil. She asks him why, questioning what else is he going to learn from her besides evil. He tells her that he is sure there are others like kindness. She questions where in the world is she supposed to find something like that, telling him that he does not make any sense. She thinks that there is no telling what this natural prince might say all of a sudden. He asked, sir, if it is wrong to list kindness as a virtue. She tells him of course it is because she is not kind in the first place. He tells her then how is she looking like that. She looks so lovely and beautiful. He states that he is technically royalty after all. he has seen many noblewomen at evening parties and among them, she seems to shine noticeably. He tells her if she is going to talk about her beauty in a bad way, then her cuteness is like a flower blooming at night, the fantastical beauty of being reflected in the moonlight and nighttime darkness for a girl like her. He is pretty confident in his looks, but it is true that he found an unexpected talent. She tells him to shut up, mentioning that he has always been complimented by women. He tells her he is not trying to flatter her, he is serious because he is aware of that. She thinks that it is too embarrassing. She pushes him, telling him to not say such things in public. He asks her if that is okay if they are alone. She tells him it is not good. He tells her it hurts. He mentions he's not used to talking with women. She responds that he's not used to talking with humans in the first place. Is he? He tells her that the knights were always talking to him. She notices him, finding him slightly depressed. She knows that he's expressionless, but she can read his emotions. He tells her, come to think of it, the knights were allowed into this city's army. He questions if he can go and check on them. She responds all right, she'll give him the permission to do that. He thanks her as she responds that he does not need to thank her. What bothers her is that they have not spread the idea of reinvention. She is aware that seriously, she does not want a big war or anything. She does not want him to bother her, and she hopes it goes peacefully. He responds it is true that peace is the best. She wishes for him to not tell her soldiers anything weird. All the knights stand in one position as she steps in. They are being told that when they wake up in the morning, they should head to Miss Lady's mansion and bow their heads. When it comes to food, they should thank her for her blessing. When they see the person in question, they should praise them with all their might. She wonders what kind of weird education they are receiving. They notice her and are totally taken aback, wondering if she really has descended into a place like this. They also wonder if they are hallucinating. She feels sorry to the prince for showing her such a weird side of hers, but he tells her that he looks beautiful today as well. She calls out to Natsu, telling him to come here for a second. He tells her that she is beautiful again today. She asked him that he is not recommending the revolutionary thoughts to those soldiers, is he? He responds. Of course he won't force her into a dangerous path. She finds that a relief. He tells her if anything, it is from them. Suddenly they hear a loud sound. He asks her what kind of sound was that. She responds that they are the voices of monsters. He starts to panic, asking why are there monsters. The prince asks her what does she mean. She realizes that she did not tell him that. She tells them that she picked up a strange old man not too long ago and she is having him study magicology. They're looking into the ecology of monsters, trying to figure out how they can be repelled and used for life. They are setting up a research facility near the training grounds for soldiers, just in case. Natsu mentions it is a taboo subject in the capital. She questions if that is the case. She realizes. Come to think of it, he did say something like that. He continues that many of the higher-ranking nobles think that touching a monster will dirty their soul. A teacher who had made a name for himself several months ago, so much so that he was banished from the capital after proving to be involved in magicology as well. She does not understand this concept at all. Due to the efforts of remote nobles, there are almost no monsters in the center. The nobles of the capital are starting to have some strange superstition. Natsu mentions of course. He's not one of them, and the prince responds that he's not like that either. The prince becomes angry, asking if one touches a monster, does that mean their soul will get dirty? Is it that they're saying that everyone who fights desperately to protect the grass is filthy? The warriors risking their lives to protect the people are what makes this kingdom a treasure, and he is proud of them. She thinks he's the same good prince as always, and he's the exact opposite of her. She knows the labs have been noisy for a while now and it would be dangerous if the monsters were running away. She decides to sortie to protect the peace. She knows even if he does not like her, she has a lot of money to pay. He must be brimming with energy. Natsu asks about his first story. She questions if he means the invitation to reinvention. She tells him it's fine if he understands, but he should do it in secret so that only those who agree with him will be found out by the capital. She wonders if she should do it too, but what if she gets caught in it? She knows, but that does not mean she wants to stop them and get annihilated. So on the surface they should agree. She wishes him good luck. The sermon tells her when the government is taken over, she will bow to her as royalty. She knows that there is no way anyone would actually fight for their life. The other one tells her he will comfort her with words of wisdom and raise the river. She should not worry as he is on her side. She is aware, but right now they don't have enough troops. They should try to strengthen their individual forces for a while. Besides, she does not think anyone would go along with their recklessness unless they were forced to. She thanks all the knights again for their hard work. She knows she's sorry, as it would be forever impossible to start a war with just 30 people. All of them are very fond of her, thinking that she and all of them, their hearts are one. She ponders that she is going to trick the knights. She then wonders, did not Natsu say something? He is thinking about how she wants a revolution as well, and they all think the same way. So it is all over the place now. They go to the magical institute. She steps in as a man wishes her a good day. She calls him Dr. Reinhardt and asks him if he will be taking a bath soon as he stinks. He tells her that he comes here every day and he has been holding back from being called stinky by a girl his age before. She tells him that is good. All of them are taken aback, making him questioning what are they all gaping at. The prince is totally shocked as he notices Dr. Reinhardt, realizing that he had no idea that he was being protected by Miss Lady. Lady asks the prince if this old man has been that amazing. Dr. Reinhardt asks if he is Prince Weiss. He mentions that he had heard that he died in the revolution, but he guesses all of them were picked up by Lady as well. He responds that luckily for them they were able to make it. The prince mentions that he is glad to see the doctor is doing well as well. Dr. Reinhardt tells him to not be so formal, as right now he is just a middle-aged man being fed by LOL. This makes Lady angry, wondering who even is he calling LOL. She knows that she is 16 and she is doing her job as a lord. She shakes her head, trying to stay calm. She finds him a very rude person and asks him what was that monster's loud scream just now. He tells her that Subject X went a little wild. But he let her inhale the hypnotic gas made by plant monsters, so she stayed put for a few hours or so, he thought. She becomes angry and asks what is it. She knows she does not want to do research that will put her in danger. He tried to play with the great Oni's corpse and servitude it. But it failed now and he's out of control in the lab. She tells him it is such an outrageous thing to do. Natsu tells her that doctors have always been famous for this. He mentions it was originally viewed as heresy in the study of tabooless. It seems that he silenced them with results that he mentions that he did follow the rules, but she knows that humans' experiments are condemned to death. Natsu asks him if he has zero conscience. She thinks that even the building is creaking and scary. She calls out to him and asks him, isn't this bad? He tells her yes, she is right, this is a very huge problem. She can hear the Kabulo steel outer wall breaking down. He suffered brain damage from an impossible resurrection, and as a result his muscles limiter seems to have come off. He tells her to not analyze it so calmly. She thought it would be safe with the prince and the others in tow, but they're stuck. She knows if the monsters escape, they will be targeted, and there was a completely broken sound. The monster appears as she's totally shocked. She knows the great Onis are extremely difficult to subjugate. They are second-class monsters. She asks him why did he experiment with that, but he thanks her for listening. Humanoid monsters have a similar brain structure to humans, and when they become higher-ranking species, their structures are more alike. She questions where did he get that information. He tells her he was also an authority on human brain medicine and it took a lot to make use of that knowledge. When the great Oni's corpse was brought in, this was his chance and he had no choice but to do it. They are aware that they feel like it is going to kill them right now. The big ogre is 8 meters long and weighs 3 tons, so all of them must be mincemeat. She cannot believe that she is going to die suddenly at the hands of an idiot old man. The prince steps in telling her that he will not let her die. She is totally taken aback, asking why is he trying to stop the monster like it is no big deal. He tells her that he has trained. She asks him if he has any idea how big the difference in physique is. He knows that his Jibuto is Tenro Setsura and it's an unusual ability that increases his physical abilities based on the sheer number of emotions he has hidden. She cannot believe it's the gift that the prince has gotten. He stands in front of her and tells her that right now his magnification is about 35 times stronger. It's about the same as when they fought against the mercenary king. She asks him what does he mean and where was the same motivation when he needed it to protect a country. Come to think of it, he wonders about it as well. She tells him to try to get a handle on the details of his gift. They decide to put in the effort. 20 hours of gift manipulation training every day is also an added bonus. She wonders what do they mean by being able to punch an enemy with a magnification of 35 and 3 tons. Her original physical abilities themselves weren't too high. In any case, the prince was pretty strong and he is pretty reliable. He states that the enhancement magnification increased by 4. The monsters scream and roar as the prince finds it pitiful that he must have lost his mind as a result of being resurrected. He decides to put that soul to sleep. He launches to attack him and finishes him. He finds it a victory that he did his job as her bodyguard. The Dr. Reinhardt is taken aback and finds it very interesting. That's the strange school of superpower swordplay. It's a one-hit, lethal swordplay created by the first king. She questions what in the world is going on. When she pulled out her eye, a slash of blue light went flying, then the ogre that hit her went boom. The doctor tells her that she is a young girl with vocabulary. She gets angry and ponders that she will kill him. She wonders what is even this thing. This is beyond the scale of swordplay destruction. It's more like an explosion than a slash. He's surprised that she noticed that unsheathed sword, flash of slash skill is a sword technique that causes it. He asks her if she knows a marine creature called an octopus. It is about 30 grams, but it can deliver 150 kilograms class punches the moment its fist is unleashed. The atomic destructive light phenomenon known as sonoriluminescence. A super speedy blow causes vacuum bubbles generated in water to compress and heat up instantly before disintegrating into atoms for glowing. The prince is causing a similar phenomenon, making her totally shocked and questioned if he's actually a prince. And that concludes the video today. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you want another part.